All right, we are live, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. We are here again, and I have somebody who maybe somebody I want to inspire to because we have kind of the same type of topic going on here about authority, and I'm excited to have him here. Let me see if I can get his name right. I have Simone Vincenzi. I hope I got that
Yeah, you got
right.
it. You got it. It's perfect. That's
So
it.
he's here. It's awesome. So this is going to be an exciting episode. He's going to give us the top 4 strategies to get your brand, business, or idea known without spending thousands of PR and paid marketing. Is that right, my friend?
That's it. That's what we're going to talk about is how can you get known in your field? How can you stand out from the crowd? And in particular, tap into there are millions in free PR and marketing that you can get if
Ooh,
you know how to navigate the opportunities that are there. So I want to share what are these opportunities and how you can tap into them.
I love it. So here we go. We shall see.
We
We
shall
shall
see.
see
We shall
on
see.
this episode of The Authority Project. Here we go.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, feast your eyes and tune your ears. It's that time again. We are live with another episode of The Authority Project. It's the video podcast streamed on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Periscope, where we talk to digital marketers, business coaches, and creators of all kinds on how they've built authority in their field and how you can mimic their success. Developing authority, building your audience, and attracting better clients to your own business. Now, without further ado, let's bring to the virtual stage your host, Brian S. Arnold.
All right, we are back on the virtual stage. This is the Authority Project. You are the project. We want to attach authority to your name so you can sell more of what you're great at. And we are here again. I so hope I get this right. Simone Vincenzi.
Yeah, you got it. I love the groove by way of the introduction. I was like, yeah, I wanted to clap when you introduced your name. I'm like, yeah, go on.
We're trying to have fun here. We're trying to have fun here. Bring the energy, right? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So we are here, and I'm excited to have him on here because he's talking about authority, and I just love it. He's gonna confirm what I say here and just take it to a whole nother level. This is gonna be great. So before we even dive in, please tell us who you are personally and then professionally.
Personally, personally it's really interesting because I am many things. I am
Okay.
many things. I'm one of these kind of people who is multi-passionate, multifaceted. So I mean, I'm an entrepreneur. I have a few businesses in different industries, but I also love playing basketball. I mean,
Cool.
I'm an avid basketball player,
Okay.
playing the UK in the second division in the National League.
Nice.
Even if I'm like 1 meter and a cup of coffee, and coffee I mean espresso because I'm Italian. So I don't mean you're like the
Yeah.
American. It's
Right.
like
Right. Right. Right.
5 liters mugs that you
Hey,
get at Starbucks.
hey.
Um, and I love music as well. I love
Nice.
music. I play the didgeridoo, which is a
Nice.
interesting instrument to play,
Okay.
and
Okay.
married to a beautiful wife, and that's my life. It's like
Awesome.
business,
That
basketball, music, wife,
nice.
music, business, basketball.
That is multifaceted. You got it. That's awesome,
Uh-huh.
man. Awesome. Tell us who you are professionally.
Professionally, I'm the co-founder of a company called GTEX, which stands for Growing Together Exponentially. And we are a community of change makers that we believe in making a difference in the world. We believe in making an impact, having a great business, and having a great lifestyle at the same time, and growing our business through collaboration. And the work that we do with our clients is then to turn experts into authorities. So our clients will join our programs because they want to be seen, they want to be heard, they have a message that they want to share, and they want as many people as possible to pay attention. Because right now, uh, I mean, after the pandemic and after COVID, like all that a lot of industry in our industry, the coaching, speaking, and training industry is reduced to is a Zoom screen.
Yeah.
Everyone
Yeah.
is a freaking screen, a small box on a screen.
Yeah.
Well, before I used to run 200 events a year with my company for the past 5 years. Now, and they were you could stand out in a different way. Now the playing field is leveled, so it's even more important to be visible than even before.
Nice. Yeah, absolutely. Great stuff, man. So I'm going to probably skip the second question because I usually say what project you're currently working on. I guess that's what you just gave us right there. So we'll skip that.
There you go.
We'll skip that. We're already there. So here's a question that's kind of new on the show. What is your daily routine?
Daily routine. So, bit of backstory on this because I really struggled to build routines for many years, and I think I got it down for the past 3 months.
Nice.
So still fresh.
Yeah.
That's why something I'm still building, but I've been the past 3 months is the one I've been the most consistent in the past 32 years of my life.
Wow.
So waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning, and before I was a night owl, so I will just finish the work generally like at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
Waking up at 5, doing journaling, meditation until getting ready, starting work around 6 o'clock. So having like 6 to 8 to get a lot of stuff done. And then 8 to 9, workout with my wife in the living room. We put like a video workout course that we have. And then around 10 o'clock, getting started with meetings, which will generally go up to like 5 or 6 o'clock in the afternoon, where I would switch off, unwind. Try to do my best. Like the things that I'm struggling the most is actually where to stop, because I have no problems to work. I have problems stopping, and so that's where we are. That's my routine.
I understand. Absolutely stuff. Great stuff, man. So tell about this journey. What led you to getting on this path of helping people become authorities in this field? What got you to that point?
Yeah. So I mean, people see me. I'm quite young. I'm 32 years old in this industry. And they say like, "Who are you to just talk about this?"
Right.
The fact is that I started my first business as a coach when I was 22. So I've been in this industry now for 10 years. And the people that sold me the course in life coaching, they just didn't mention that people wouldn't buy life coaching from a 22-year-old for obvious reason.
Right.
And so if you think about it, I came to the UK. I'm Italian. I came to the UK when I was 20, and I worked in restaurants here for 2 years, like any good Italian would do. What do you do? You work as a waiter in restaurants. So my English wasn't great because I could only speak English related to the catering industry. On top of that, I started my studying into a new field in a new language. No one knew me because I was like before I was a party boy working in restaurants. And so I literally had to start from scratch. And after a couple of years that I took to just really become really good at coaching, getting hundreds of coaching sessions for free so I could become good at what I was studying while supporting myself with a part-time job, then I decided, okay, let me start my business right now. But I couldn't get clients. And so I started working first as a contractor, delivering courses for young people. Because I said, like, if adults are not going to listen to me, there is someone else that will see me as someone worth listening to. And I always had a good connection with young people. I always loved doing that. So it was a natural thing. And so I built my company first to the point where I was running like 150 days of training in schools. And at the same time, I started my event company in the evening where we were running with my business partner an event a week just to get ourselves out there. You know, we had other speakers coming in. We weren't the main presenters. And that was the beginning of the journey. And when I realized, you know what, I really need people to take notice and to see me. That's what got me into this.
Okay. Awesome stuff. Great stuff. Okay. So let's get into the good stuff. let's get into the good stuff. Let's dive into these 4 top strategies. And if I have a question in between, I'll let you know. But you're on, my friend. Go ahead. Let's start with the
I'm
4
on.
strategies.
So it really came through all the things that I've done in the past, let's say 8 years now of running GTEx, and we have developed a formula called the ASAP formula. As any good speaker, you would have an acronym. So let's go on with the acronyms, right? ASAP.
Right.
And the first A stands for association.
Okay.
And I'm talking about association can be with personalities, can be with brands, or can be with charities.
Yeah.
And the reason why it was instrumental, it is because that's where at 26, I had my biggest break. Our business quadrupled in 1 year because I managed to get involved in an event with Les Brown in front of 1,000 people, where I was the main host of that event. And that association that I had with Les Brown then really put GTEx on the map.
Okay.
It wasn't that from one day to the other we actually became better than the day before.
Yeah. Right.
It's just that people started paying attention from that moment on.
Right.
Considering that before that moment, we have done more than 300 events already. They were all small events. It was just, but 5 people, 10 people, 20 people, and then having the opportunity, boom.
Right.
But I was ready.
Okay.
But I was ready to take it. And that led to an opportunity the year after to do an event with Gary Vee.
Wow.
And so again, that association gave another boom to the business. So I think that when you associate yourself, and I think you can relate with that, when you associate yourself with a more influential brand, people is not that will see you as good as them or at their level, but it will not even see you there at the bottom.
Right where you were. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah,
so you
exactly.
kind of like raise quite quickly, and people can pay attention. So that's the power of association.
Let me tell you something. That's a great first strategy. That's a great one. That's great. Wonderful.
You can do it also as well for corporate clients, because people might say, you know what, I'm not in the personal development industry, but I have a corporate business. And one of the companies that we run now is a sales training for recruitment agencies. And I remember that one of the first contracts that we were chasing was a contract with LinkedIn. If we can get LinkedIn as a client, we are done.
And put that in there. Yeah.
And so it took about 1.5 years, but we managed to get LinkedIn as a client. And when we were going after other businesses, we were saying, this is what we did for LinkedIn.
Right.
We want to do this for you.
Right.
That was our sales pitch, basically.
Right.
Because people have the assumption that if it's good enough for LinkedIn, it's going to be good enough for me.
Love it.
It's an assumption.
Yeah.
But of course, then you have to demonstrate what you can deliver. But
I'm going to bring it up to that. Yeah.
that's the power of association.
Yes. I love it. I love that first strategy. There you go. Write that down, people. Write it down. I love it so far. Go right ahead.
So we have A of the ASAP formula, association. S is speaking.
Okay.
Speaking is incredible. Whether you're doing it live when we can, we lived in a society before where live events were a thing. Man, I gotta say, I miss that.
Yeah.
Have you ever done a live event or spoken at a live event or something like that?
It's been a while. Yeah. I meant to do some, at least starting next year. Not maybe not this year, but definitely starting next year. I want to do some. But
I don't know.
I don't know when it's gonna happen. Even next year at this point.
I know, right? But like speaking,
or if it's gonna be even needed by next year.
That's a great point. Yeah. That's a great point, because in fact, like my business started as an event company, and I love speaking. I love being in front of crowds. That's my thing.
Yeah.
That's the thing that makes me happiest the most. I can do the online game. I can do all the funnels and stuff and the products, but there's nothing that makes me happier than when I'm speaking in front of a live audience. I don't know. There's just that exchange of energy. There's something magical about that.
Yeah, definitely.
And even, by the way, even when you're speaking online, there is nothing that converts more than delivering a presentation in front of a live audience.
Yeah.
If you're looking at getting clients, getting exposures, building connections with other speakers, that's a huge thing about your visibility, because the more people see you delivering presentations about your topic, and the bigger the platform or the bigger the stage, the bigger and the higher is going to be their perception of you. Again, someone worth listening to, someone that knows their stuff.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I love it. So I think let me ask you a question about that, though, about
Sure.
speaking, about getting into that racket, if I can say it that way.
It is. It feels like a racket.
Well, that track, into the speaker track, right?
Mhm.
So how does one start that? If people who are listening right now, how does somebody start getting into the speaking track?
Yeah. A good friend of mine, which is also a partner in a program that I deliver called the Profile Builder, says this quote that I love. And her name is Michelle Raymond. And she says, like, before you get demanding, you got to be in demand. Right. So a lot of people say, oh, I want to be a speaker, or I want to get out there, I want to share my message, I want to get paid for it. But remember that if you're not in demand, the people are not going to pay you.
Yeah.
So first of all, you need to create that demand. And either you're already great at what you're doing, or you already have a platform. Speakers that get paid to speak, they are speakers that already have a reputation. They are really hot in their field. They are very relevant. They are topical, or they have a big audience.
Yeah.
These are the people that are get paid to speak. So if you don't have any of those, it means that you got to build them.
Yes.
And that's what happened to me.
I like that word, build. There you go.
You got to build them. And that's what I did. So no one would listen to me, or I wasn't good enough to be on stages. What I did, I started my own.
There you go. Yes. There you go.
The same reason why I started a lot of projects. Like, I started a podcast. We are more than 300 episodes in right now of our Explode Your Expert business show. And before even I was big enough to be interviewed on other people's podcasts, or for people to say, yeah, I would love to interview Simone, it seems like an interesting person.
Right.
I made myself interesting. So if no one is hiring you or getting you in, there's nothing wrong in creating your own platforms, so then you can get the experience that you need to then maximize the opportunities that you have. Does it make sense?
You're saying all the things that I'm saying. You're just confirming. Like, I knew
we are on the same page.
Do that. I knew you're going to do that. But I'm glad to see someone else say that. So I'm just sitting here listening and just.
Like, I'm not the only lunatic saying this stuff. But you know what? In our industry, there are a lot of people that will say, oh, you can become an influencer overnight, and do this overnight, and do this, that overnight. And I'm like, what overnight?
Right. No.
Well, overnight, you know what I do overnight? I sleep. That's what I do overnight.
Right. No such thing. There's no such thing. Yep. It's craziness. I'm not sure how that term came about, but anyway. Let's get to the next S.
And you got to be good at and you got to be ready also to monetize it, because if I think about it, when I did the speaking gig with Les Brown, I could leverage it, and I had I already did more than 300 events, so I knew that if I was going to get on that stage with 1,000 people, I was gonna rock it.
Right.
If I had that opportunity at the beginning of my speaking career, maybe after 10 events, I was going to bomb.
Yeah.
So that's why also doing the work is important. Then we can move to another one, which is, so we talked about association.
Before we get there,
go ahead.
Let me just dive this in, sneak this in here. How do you deal with fear? Because this is great. People are saying go and speak. How do you deal with fear of getting out there? Which in doing something that's to some might be uncomfortable, right? To do. How did you get yourself to start that and get on that stage?
I think that depends on who you are as a person.
Okay.
I think that if I were to give a generic answer, I would give people the service, because everyone has a different personality. There's a different way in which they learn skills. So, for example, I'll give 2 different versions. And the way I did it, I'm the kind of person that thrives under pressure, and I will throw myself in the deep end. So I think that actually the first speaking gig I did was in front of 120 people. I don't even know how I got it. I put out an application. It was a friend of
Okay.
mine that said, "Oh, you want to be a speaker? There's this open session here. Go there."
Okay.
I had 120 people in front of me. I said some stuff and I left the stage. I don't even know what I said. I don't remember. I blanked. But
Okay. Okay.
I was like, and so for me, that moment was just the moment where it got to me say, I'm safe.
Right.
There are other people that might need a different approach.
Okay.
They like to do more baby steps. And so one of the things that we get our clients to do is that sometimes to deliver presentations to each other, to become confident in listening, like in a small part of material, then going to in front of a bigger group where they still feel safe. And once they've delivered the same material like 3-4 times, then going out there and starting, knowing that it's still going to be nerve-wracking, but they know their stuff, they know what they're talking about. So that's another approach. If someone prefers to, is the kind of more gradual person. That's how we tackle that fear.
Love it. All right. I got some other things for you. All right, let me just sneak another one in there for you before we get to
Go ahead, please.
What about the people who say they have nothing to teach or no kind of skills to do this, but they want to do something, but they just don't think that they have, anything that anyone would like or to be influenced by? What do you say to people like that?
I think that it is everyone has something to give.
Yeah.
Everyone has something to give. And I also would say that if you are at the stage where you don't think the things that you have to give are if you're at the stage where you think you have nothing to give, I think that you have to do more personal work before you go and go there and support others with that thing. I think like there are different spectrums in this. I don't like to give a generic answer. So there are some people that I've worked with that I know that, like, I've seen in hindsight, they weren't ready.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
they were just had so many self-confidence issues that like I did when I had to start working out. I spent 2 years just building up the confidence.
Right.
And sometimes it's part of the work that someone needs to do.
Yeah.
And then you have another kind of person which they're confident in what they're doing, but they're just so good at so many things that then they even forget or they take it for granted.
Yeah.
There's another type of person like that. Right. Because it's like, because what we do in our life is close to us, like it's normal to us.
Yeah.
No, like I've been homeless for 6 months building my business by choice. Like I made myself homeless for serious circumstances.
Yeah.
And I had, like, it was a personal choice and I would not regret it. When people say, oh my God, like, how did you sleep rough?
Right.
I was like, yeah, that's what I had to do. I mean, it's not a big deal for me.
Right.
But for someone else, it is a big deal. So,
and I think that some people have it in them, but they just don't realize it. Like the people who maybe have had jobs all their lives and don't think they have a skill set. And like, okay, what were you doing at that job or this job or that job? What were you doing successfully? Because I can't imagine that you have not done anything successful in your life. Find out what that is and then work on that, because somebody else might need to have that information that you have within you. What do you think about that?
Yeah, and that's where I think is important to work with someone else on these things.
Yeah.
Like I'm great at doing visibility stuff for other people, but I take for granted a lot of things that I do. So I need other people to highlight what's impressive about the things I do.
Great point.
And, I think that this work is like, it's very difficult to write your own bio.
Yeah.
Very difficult because I'm too close to what I'm doing. And I give you an example. I went to a workshop like was last year, from a speaker booker that her name is Maria Franzoni. She runs a speaker agency.
Okay.
And I said, you know what, like I was already doing 200 speaking gigs a year. So I've been doing that for the past 5 years. I'm good with speaking engagements. Like I don't need more.
Right.
But I wanted to refine the way I was getting out there. I was still working on my profile as well. Like how can I express what I do better?
Yeah.
And we were talking during that workshop, and she mentioned, and I was saying, okay, tell me all the things that you have done. And I think I said, like, we helped more than 500 businesses become profitable in the past 3 years
Yeah.
with our company,
Right.
which is like a good achievement.
Right.
Like,
Right.
it's
Yeah.
not.
Amazing. Yeah.
And that wasn't even mentioned anywhere on my bio, on my website. Nowhere was saying that. And when she noticed that, she saw
Yeah.
that this was actually the biggest thing. And I
Yeah.
was mentioned, I spoke with Les Brown, I spoke with Gary Vee, and I was nominated for this award, and I was nominated in the House of Parliament
Right.
for being one of the most influential entrepreneurs in the UK. All these awards that I had,
Right.
but the fact of actually the result that we had for our clients, because it was so natural to me,
Yeah.
it wasn't there. So that's why I think it's really important to have someone
Mm.
else to help you find out what you think is obvious.
Awesome. Amazing stuff. All right. So let's get to the next A. Let's go to the next
Let-
A you have.
Let's get to the next day, and the
Yeah.
next day is awards. So that's
Nice.
awards and recognitions.
Okay. Okay.
So you have the association with other industry, celebrity, or businesses. You have speaking and putting
Yeah.
yourself out there. Then you have other awards and recognition. So the reason why. So let me tell you the reason why awards are important. Awards are important because they say something about you.
Mm.
But they say something to your clients, they say something to other people that you are trustworthy.
Yeah.
Now, this is why they're important. Now I need to go into a bit of a disclaimer,
Okay.
because if anyone is familiar here with the award industry, for a big part is a fake industry, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It
Yeah.
is an industry where, a lot of time is a popularity context. It means that the more votes you have, the more chances you have to win the awards, or you have to pay to win the awards. So
Mhm.
that's a reality of the industry.
Right. Right.
But it's a reality that not everyone knows, first of all.
Right.
And when you say award winner, sounds better than without.
Exactly.
Right?
Right. Right. Exactly. Yes.
And so awards will never get you would not get you clients. Someone will say, "Oh, I'll work with you because you won an award." No,
Yeah.
it will not happen. That. But what happens when you win an award? You create a buzz around you.
Yeah.
You will have people that will comment like for 1 day or 2 days, say congratulations, well done, like hundreds of comments. I always knew you were great, from people that you never heard from like the past 10 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what it will do for you. After
Right.
2 days, everyone else will forget about it. But
Right.
for
Right.
these 2 days,
Yeah.
you're there,
Yeah.
and you can leverage it to either win other awards, or get on publications, or get on speaking engagements. And so now you're leveraging the award
Yeah.
to increase your visibility and to get you other opportunities. That's how awards can be leveraged.
I love it. Love it.
Uh,
Now, I guess the obvious question is, how do I get into even being looked at as to receiving an award of some sort?
That's a very good point. You apply for it.
Okay. Okay.
That's simple as that. A lot of people
Right.
complicate it, or a lot of people say, "Oh, other people should apply for me, or I should be nominated."
Right.
Now, if you understand anything about the award industry, the 90% of the award industry
Yeah.
is self-applications.
Nice.
So you find an award, you submit an application, you tell them why you should win, and then they will have an evaluation process. Every company, bigger or smaller, will have a different decision-making process of that.
Okay.
And for people that say, "Oh, but I just need other people to apply for me. I don't think it's fair if I vote for myself."
Yeah.
Well, the first thing I want to say is good luck. And the other thing I want to say is that if you're not nominating yourself, or you don't think you're worthy of nominating yourself,
Yeah.
how the heck you're expecting someone else to do it for you?
Right. Right.
And like, I do my best to at least become a finalist or win at least 2 awards a year.
Cool.
And I've been on track of that for the past few years. And some of them, they were like smaller local awards, but some of them were bigger. Like one was in the House of Parliament as one of the most influential migrant entrepreneurs in the UK.
Nice.
Or There was another one where we have in something called the Federation of Small Businesses,
Okay.
which is a national federation with literally like hundreds of thousands of members. And I was a finalist in the region of London as Young Entrepreneur of the Year
Very
over
nice.
like, and that was a very thorough process. And
Okay.
then there were other awards that they just look you in the eyes and say, "Oh, you look cool. You win an
Right.
award." I'm like, "Thank you, I'll take it." So,
Right. Right.
so that's it.
That's a great one. So this is good. This is good. I have nothing else. Let's get to pee.
Let's
That's
go.
great stuff.
We gotta pee. All right, let's
Yeah.
get a pee. Let's get a pee. So we talked about us as first A association, then we talked about speaking S, then the other A awards and recognition, then the P is publication and media.
Okay.
Publication and media are brilliant because they give you access to an audience that you don't have.
Yeah.
They have the millions of eyeballs if you're going for the major one, or they will have maybe a few hundreds or few thousands of eyeballs if you're going for the niche one, but it might be more relevant even for you and your business because
Right.
they are like more niche publications. And so what happens is that when you are going with when you have when you're getting featured on publication, there is a growth in a spike in your visibility. And
Yeah.
when you get featured on a major one as well, is something that you will keep for you forever. So
True.
I had as a goal to become a contributor of Forbes, Entrepreneur Magazine, Huffington Post. I reached all these. Now I'm working on becoming a contributor of Inc., Fast Track Company, because they have the audiences that I want to have, but also they can give me the credibility where someone is searching something on Google. There is all this stuff that appearing, and that's instant credibility.
Mm.
And that's why the publications or media like television, radio, they are great because they, again, is the perception that you're building that you're someone worth listening to
Mm.
because you are being invited to talk about your topic.
Yeah. Great stuff. So I want to ask how does one do that,
Sure.
and without getting too without messing up your what you offer as a business,
Oh,
obviously.
that's fine. I'm always open. I'm always
Okay.
open to share as much as
Okay.
possible. Then I know that if people need implementation, they will come and buy our courses because
Yeah,
one
exactly.
thing is
Yeah.
listening something on a podcast and one
Right.
other thing is doing it. So I always
Exactly.
share all the strategy very freely. So are you asking more about how do we get on publications?
Right. You get either first of all, publications maybe then PR, I guess.
Okay, so let's look at publications first.
Yeah.
Depends on where you are. If you are at the starting point, first of all, it's very difficult or almost impossible. There are always flukes, but the general law is start writing your own blog or getting featured on local publications. But there are a lot of local publications in your local area, like in your borough, in your like in an organization that you're part of. Start getting published where it's easiest to build those articles. So then when you then approach a larger publication, then they can see that you have done stuff before. But to approach a larger publication, you already need to have a certain profile or certain case studies because they will do a background check. They will check, are you worthy to become a contributor of this publication? And do you have the background and the knowledge to write stuff for my readers?
Okay.
So that's one thing if you're starting out. If you've been already in business for a while and you have that, you're really good at what you're doing, you have case study, you have been published or smaller publications or podcasts before. So someone Googles you, there is stuff about you, but not just a bigger one. There are a few things actually. Entrepreneur Magazine, and I don't know if anyone knows this, but Entrepreneur Magazine launched something called the Leadership Network, where you can become a contributor for free for Entrepreneur Magazine. So this is not a paid scheme. And you can publish one article for free every 3 months. Or if you pay to become a contributor, in that case, that's the easiest way. Then you can publish articles every time you want. But you have one article and they will do a background check. You have a selection process, an interview process. and you can get in to become a contributor of Entrepreneur Magazine. So just
Cool.
check Entrepreneur Leadership Network. That's
Yeah.
how my first article for entrepreneurs was published by an editor, but the second time, because then the editor disappeared, I couldn't contact him anymore. Then I got in this other way.
Awesome.
Or
Awesome.
then the other thing that you can do is to look at, this is what I do most of the time, or we teach our clients to do, is to look for people that cover similar topics than what you do. So you look for other contributors or for editors that are covering a specific topic.
Yeah.
And then you pitch them something like a different view on that, because you know that they're already covering that topic. So it's
Yeah.
already interesting to them. And then we say, you know what? I would love to talk about X, Y, and Z, but under a different light.
Yeah.
Would this be relevant for you? So we engage with them via Twitter or via LinkedIn, building that relationship, and then asking them, hey, I've got this idea. What do you think?
Yeah.
Some people will say yes, some people will say no. So it's always a number game. But that's another great way that you can use to get on radio, to get
Mhm.
on TV, to get on publications, on the major one. But the most important thing is that, do you already have some stuff that if they check you out, they can see that actually you're an expert in that field?
It's great stuff. Awesome, man. Awesome. I'm loving everything you're saying. Did I tell you
That's
guys? I tell you guys, you're gonna take it to another level. I'm just like I said, this is great stuff. I mean, really, you're getting really like paid content right now. I hope everybody is getting what he doesn't have to be up here doing this. I'm like, I should have paid. I got you guys in here for
if
20.
you want to send me some money, I'll take
Right,
it. Like, I'll send you my PayPal details.
Yes, sir. There you go. So, I don't know if I have any other questions. That ASAP thing is brilliant. Now, see, that makes me want to get my own little acronym. I thought I had one a couple of times, but that acronym is priceless, dude. I love that. I love that. Let me see if I have couple more questions here. Okay, yeah, this is a good one. This takes this little switch. What if you start getting out there doing all the things that you're saying, but you're not getting the results that you want at first? What then? How long should we be waiting for something to give, something to work out? And it's just like, am I doing this? Is this the right thing for me? What do you say to that?
How long it takes? That's my answer.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the more general answer. Let's go in more specific scenarios.
Yeah.
There are moments where there are things that will not work, and you say, okay, let me drop it.
Yeah.
But it's not about changing the goal, it's about adjusting the methodology or the way of doing things. So I'll give you an example. As I mentioned, I started with events, right?
Yeah.
For the first 22 events, we didn't make a pound, didn't make any money for 22 events. So we had people, we had anything from 2 to 20 people.
Okay.
And we were, I think after the 10th event, we started selling like a mastermind for like a year mastermind for like $100 or £100, something like that, like something ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah.
And people were not buying it because I wasn't good in selling. And that was the reason why.
Yes.
And
Exactly.
but we kept running events, and I kept refining the sales pitch. We kept refining the offer to the point that I remember like one night, that was the first time that we ever made any money. We made, I think, about like £1,200 in one evening.
Wow.
And that goes to say like 22, that was a 23rd event. So 22 events without nothing, adjusting, playing things out, and then going into this is the £1,000. And then there were events where we made nothing, and then other events where we made like 150,000 in one event. So it is I think like if you have that dream and if you have that mission, that's gonna fuel anything else.
Yeah.
And so instead of saying, you know what, I'm gonna stop pursuing this dream, so let me pursue this dream and maybe change strategy and find something that will align for you and will work for you. And But how long? I, my mindset is it will happen. I know it will happen,
Yeah.
but I don't know how long will it take. So I'm willing to wait and work until that happen. That's how I see the word.
Yeah, I think that's the best answer. I think people have to understand, I think, that you're not opening up a McDonald's. You know, you can pretty much know that if you open up a McDonald's, you're gonna get people from day one. You know,
Yep.
anything else, you know, you're gonna have to kind of work at, you know, promoting it quite a bit to get people in the door. So don't worry. I think don't worry about day one. Is that a fair assessment? You think?
Even don't worry about day 2000. You know, I think you're onto something because
Yeah,
anytime you're going to have, I was having a session with a client today,
yeah,
and we were talking about managing expectations and disappointment.
yeah,
Because I think that when we have role models, we look at where they are right now, but
yeah,
not when they started,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
And so they might have this. I was talking to a client. They said, "Oh, but this person had this. They were doing this challenge, and they had this £1 million launch, and but I said, but they also had 7,000 people to attend that thing,
right, right, right.
and they've done the challenge already 20 times.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
you don't have 6,000 people going through. So
yeah,
sometimes we put other people results as our own expectations.
yeah,
And then when the what we get doesn't match our reality, then we get frustrated, disappointed. And
yes,
so I'm not saying that I'm immune to this. I'm part of the club. I'm a human being. I get my disappointments, but I've learned to think one of the biggest thing I've learned is just to be grateful with anything that comes out, but not being content or
okay,
satisfied. It's like, okay, I got this. That's what I got.
yeah, great
So
stuff.
what can I do different? And then using incremental. Because otherwise, if you're just going to be happy only when we get the results that we are expecting, it's a very miserable life.
Yeah, yeah,
It's a miserable.
yeah, exactly, exactly. Great stuff, man. And I'm not even. I have one last question that I share. I try to ask all my guests, and I'm not sure how I can even say it in the right way. But the question goes up like this: They like people are on here. They're hearing your stuff. They're watching you now. They love what you're delivering. They also want to help people become authorities in their field or become experts. Show people who have a skill set to make some kind of profit or live a lifestyle, that kind of thing. Maybe I'll say it in
Yeah.
that respect. Can you show them or tell them just some few key things or one thing to be an authority in this space? And I'll let you go front and center on that.
So is for someone that is working on like helping others becoming
Right,
experts,
right,
right?
exactly.
So for me, the number one thing is first of all, you gotta walk your talk.
Yeah,
That's the given because I've seen that there are a lot of people that they are in this field, and what they do, they run before they can walk themselves. And
mm,
so become an authority yourself first through your actions, through your own words, and then you will be able to, like, clients will come to you anyway because they will see you and they will say, I want what you have.
yeah,
So uh,
yeah,
I think the first part is like really walk your talk, and then the second part is, um, and I know it sounds cheesy, but care, care about people,
yeah,
care about your clients. Because if someone comes to you because they want to become an expert or an authority in their field,
yeah,
is their dream, is their aspirations, is their soul, is their savings, is everything they want for the future. And if you're not careful with that, you can crush their dreams, and you can crush them as people.
yeah.
And unfortunately, I've seen many of those people too. And I think that if we work with integrity and we care about people and we show the way and we walk our talk, then business business is going to come, and it's going to be booming always.
Awesome. I love it. I love it. That answers the question perfectly. Perfectly, people. This is, I hope you got an enormous amount of information on here. And I know that I have people, I know I got to replay the tape already. So, so people, ASAP, ASAP, ASAP. I've never heard of ASAP in this light ever. So this is a great stuff. Great stuff. Um, so let us know how people can get a hold of you after the show.
Yeah, the best way is to check my website, which is simonev.co. So SIMONE, then v.co. And there you can find a lot of resources. So we have a checklist to see where are you in the spectrum from expert to authority, and see how you can and what is the steps that you need to take right now based on where you are, not the dreams that you have, but where you are right now.
Mhm.
And then we have also training on how to get featured on Forbes and major publications that is there relevant to what we told today. So as long as you go on simonev.co, then you can have the resources, and also you can find my podcast. So I would love also to check out my show, the Explode Your Expert Business Show.
Awesome. Awesome. And what else do we have here that people can go to?
Is that one you can still see, like, is a checklist, is the
Oh,
GTEx
okay.
event
Yeah.
for experts checklist, and is the checklist I was talking about, which you can find at this link, gtex.events/expert iPhone checklist, or you can find at the top of the page of simonev.co, and that's where we can assess where you are in the spectrum from hobby, expert, influencer, or authority. We'll give you a score, and then see what, based on your business and what you already have, you should focus on right now.
Awesome stuff, man. Awesome stuff. And don't forget, guys, if you guys want to go and also check out authorityletter.com, get on the list, join the list, build your platform. And I'll be probably after this show, I'll be ongoing referring you over to Simone, because after you finish with me, I'm just going to tell you to go to him. Absolutely.
Thank you.
For
Appreciate it.
advanced work. Great stuff, man. Great stuff. You can also text us at text We Are Live at 44222 to get on there as well. But go to authorityletter.com, get that free training. We got a weekly email. It comes out every week. Email, maybe a little crazy video of me as well on the email, 5 minutes or less. Really bite-sized stuff, but great stuff. I would just want to be able to talk to you as well. But that's it. And I have no more words. But if you have anything else you want to share before we get out of here, any final last words, go right ahead if you like.
Yeah, I think like my final words is that right now visibility is not a luxury; is a necessity.
Yeah,
So, as a business, as a coach, as a speaker, as an expert, as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, it's important that you take that seriously. Whether you invest time, whether you invest money, but learn about how can you be visible, because that will make the difference between keep your business, like having a thriving business even during these times, or really struggling, because the next few years, unfortunately, they're not,
yeah,
they might be tough. I mean, I'm
yeah,
not a fortune tellers, but
yeah,
this is the
mhm,
beginning. So
yeah.
it's important that as business owner, we are future proofing ourselves, and not just thinking about what can we do today, but what's going to get the business going tomorrow. So that's why
Absolutely.
really focus on visibility.
Perfect, man. Perfect. I have nothing else. You guys, I hope you enjoyed the show. I'm so glad you got on here. I know you're a busy man. I'm so glad we got able to get the timing right and get you on here for today. So
Thank you. I
that
appreciate it.
is it. Everybody, you know the motto: build it, share it, and they will come. Um, and just do that. Then go over to this guy to get the real stuff. All right. Take care. Be blessed, and I will see you on the next episode. Bye bye.
And that's a wrap for this episode of The Authority Project. Thanks so much for tuning in. And if you like what you heard, we want to hear from you. Subscribe, rate, and give an honest review. Share and tell your friends so they can hear too. And for even more authority building tactics, be sure to sign up at theauthorityletter.com. Get free weekly content and ongoing digital product giveaways to help you on your entrepreneurial journey. We certainly hope you got a key takeaway or maybe an aha moment from today's broadcast. Just remember, it's your authority. Build it, share it, and they will come. Until next time.